to play. Students, come out to play. Students, come out to play. Students, come out to play. All right, good morning. We're going to give this a try, see how it works. Hope everybody is safe and washing their hands. Before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to the seniors class of 2020. Feel real bad about how this school year is playing out for you guys. You guys are what I consider my first ever Charlestown graduating class. 2 years ago when I came to Charlestown High School, you guys were sophomores and I taught most of you guys. I know some of you all circumvented me, but I taught most of you, and I was looking forward to going to prom and seeing you guys at graduation. So I just hope you all do well, and when this is all said and done, we figure out something for you guys to make things go smoothly. All right, everybody should have a slice of paper and a pencil ready to go, ready to learn. We left off right before that COVID hit. We finished up Unit 7 and we were getting ready to jump into Unit 8. So we're going to do that today. We're going to simplify radicals. Just so you know how this week's going to go, we're going to do on Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to do little videos. Today, the first half of the lesson. Tomorrow, Tuesday, will be the second half of the lesson. There will be problems, just like when we do a regular lesson. I'll give you a chance to work on them while I show you how to do them, and I hope you all will try them. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I have a few practice problems for you all uploaded. So hope everything's ready to go, and we're gonna give this a try. I don't know how well this is gonna work, but we'll see. All right. As I mentioned, we're gonna convert radical expressions into simplest radical form. This will be chapter 8 in your book, and here we go. All right, to start us off, you got a little bit of familiarity with this in middle school. You probably talked about the perfect squares, which are these. What a square root actually is, it's a number when it's multiplied by itself, gives you the original number, and so the square root of 0, of course, is 0 because 0 times 0 makes 0. The square root of 1 is 1 because 1 times 1 makes 1. Square root of 4 is 2 because 2 times 2 makes 4. So now I'll just have you guys shout them out to me as we go to fly through these because they're pretty easy. So 3 would be the perfect root of course, 9. 4 would be 16, again, because 4 times 4 is 16. 5 would be the perfect square root of 25. 6 is 36, and you are seeing how this works, right? 7, of course, would be the square root of 49. 8 would be the square root of 64. Most of you all know these. 9 jumps up to 81. 10, of course, is 100. 11, it'd be $1.21. 12, 144. And most of y'all probably knew them up to that high. 13, 14, and 15 go a little bit off the standard multiplication table, but 13 is the square root of, yes, over there. Yes, absolutely, 169. And 14, who knows 14? 14 times 14, let's see. Okay, yes, 196, good job. And last but not least, we'll stop it at 15. Anybody know what 15 is the perfect square root of? Yes, you and the leg warmers there. Okay, 225, okay. Looking good. So these are the perfect squares. These are the ones that they're easy. You just kind of know them. And, you know, like I said, 49, you know the square root of 49 is 7 because 7 times 7 makes 49. But we're not going to focus on these today. These are the easy ones, the perfect squares. We're going to focus on the ones that are not perfect squares. They're in between these numbers, all right? So hopefully everybody's excited and ready to go. And clear off a little workspace. If you need to still copy this, you can always hit pause, unlike in the regular classroom. So this is exciting. Oh, here we go. That ain't gonna work. Okay, we're going to try simplifying our first non-perfect square, and we'll try the square root of 40. Obviously, it's not a perfect square, so we have to simplify it. Now, there's a couple of different ways to swing this dead cat. I'm going to show you the way I'm going to do all the problems called I call it the Terminator style. It's very systematic. Then there is a shortcut, but the shortcut, a lot of people don't see it very well, so I'll always use this Terminator style. Now, we're going to break down numbers first by 2s, then 3s, then 5s, then 7s, 11s, and then 13s. Who knows what those numbers are? Yes, they're your prime factors. When you break it down by the prime factors, then those numbers can't be broken down anymore. So I'm going to start with the 2s, move on to the 3s, and so on. So 40, you can go back to 5th grade, factor trees. 40 breaks down into 2 times 20. 20, of course, breaks down into 2 times 10. 10 breaks down into 2 times 5, and then you're done because you have all prime factors. Now, my wife, who teaches 5th grade, tells me we're supposed to circle all the terminal factors. And so really, 40, or the square root of 40, is just 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Okay, now once you've got it broken down into all its factors, of course, you can just check. You multiply those together and you get 40. So I haven't really changed anything. I've just broken down it into its prime factors. Now, I also call this escape from square root prison. These guys are all in square root prison and they want to escape. Now, the only way to escape is to have a buddy just like you so you can trust them. So you have 3 2s. Now, you're going to circle pairs of numbers you have in common. So we got a pair of 2s. Why don't we circle that third 2? Well, 3's a crowd. So you only want pairs. Now later on when you have, next year if you get through my class and you have Mr. Wiles or Miss Stewart or Miss Johnson, they'll have you do cube roots and fourth roots, and the principle still works the same. But in a square root, you need pairs. So we got a pair of 2s. Now, once everybody's decided who they're going to try to escape with, this 2 and this 5, they have no one to try to escape square root prison with, so they're going to be left behind. But when the warden turns off the lights, these guys make a break for it. And as soon as they make a break for it, the alarm goes off, boop, 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 and they try to escape. And as in every prison movie, one of them, usually the star of the movie, he escapes. And guess what happens to his buddy? You guessed it, he dies. And nobody else is going to try to escape in this situation. So when we're done with the jailbreak, a 2 escaped, a 2 passed away, and then you have a 2 and a 5 left behind who did not try to escape. So you can, I'll show this baby step. There's the 2 and that 5. So when everything's all said and done, you have a 2 on the outside and a 2 times 5 left behind, so 10. So your final answer is 2 times the square root of 10. That is what we call simplest radical form. Now I'm going to have you guys try the square root of 80. Now remember, you can pause at home and take a few seconds to try it. So I'm going to pretend like you've done that. You've paused and you've tried to do exactly what I did. You're breaking down the 80, starting with 2s and then trying to break down by 3s, 5s, 7s, and so on. So I'll pretend like you've done that, and I'll call on my first random audience student member. Let's see, I'm rolling a 6-sided die, and we are going to call on somebody from period 5, 5th period. Awesome. And let's call on what student? We'll call on student number 13, and in 5th period, student number 13 would be Kim Kardashian. Kim, what do you think the answer What is square root of 80 in simplest radical form? You think it is 40. Okay, we'll write 40 over here, and Kim. Okay. Uh-oh, we have some disagreement. Kurt Russell, what do you think the answer is? We talked about this, Kurt. I'm not going to call you Snake. Kurt, what do you think the answer is? You have 4 radical 5. Okay. So we got some slight difference of answers here. Anybody have anything different besides 40 or 4 times radical 5? Nope. Okay, so hopefully one of these will be correct. Hopefully you broke down your 80 by now, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. 80, of course, would break down into 2 and 40. 40 would be 2 and 20. 20 would be 2 and 10. 10 is 2 times 5, and then 5 is a prime factor, so it won't break down anymore. And like I said, we should always circle our terminal factors. So the square root of 80 is really just the square root of 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. So that's 4 2's and a 5. Okay, so here's the square root prisoners. They're hanging out in the courtyard, lifting weights, playing basketball on goals with chain link nets, and they're deciding who's going to try to escape tonight. Well, you got a pair of 2's, they'll try to escape. You actually have a second pair of 2's that are going to try to escape, and once again the 5, nobody to buddy with, so he's going to stay behind. The warden turns out the lights. As soon as the lights go out, these guys make a break for it. Boop, 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 boop. One of the 2's gets out. His buddy dies. And in this pair, boop, 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 another 2 escapes. His buddy dies, and the 5 is left behind. Okay, now, what happens when 2 people escape? Well, they celebrate by multiplying together. 2 times 2 is 4, and the 5 was left behind. So, Kurt, you are correct. It is 4 radical 5. Now, I'm glad Kim gave us this wrong answer, because a lot of students think this is the answer. They think square root means you just cut the number in half. That is not how this works. Square root means this number times itself will give you that number. And 40 times 40 does not give you 80. So do not cut the number in half. That's not what's going on here. So the correct answer is 4 radical 5. So let's give Kurt a smiley face. And again, no, I'm not going to call you Snake. Good job. All right, any questions on that? Let's try another one. Let's see, let's get this all erased. You all don't need this anymore, do you? Okay, look at that. Man, some of you all are saying, hey, Mr. Metcalfe, this works even better than your smart board at school. And I'd be saying, you're right, I have not had to recalibrate yet. So here we go. Square root of 70. I hope you all can see this. My markers are kind of dull. Square root of 70. So what we're going to do, I'm going to tell you right now, right away, right before you all hit pause, something weird's going to happen on this one. So go ahead and try it. I'll pretend like 18 seconds have elapsed, and now I'm going to call on somebody. Let's see, what class will I call on this time? Ooh, we're going to call on somebody from second period. I'm going to call on student number 12. Student number 12 in second period is AJ. AJ, what did you get for this one? Oh, okay, you're saying nobody's going to have a partner. When you break down 70, no one has a partner they will trust and try to escape. So what does that mean? It means, if AJ is correct, this number is already in simplest radical form. So AJ's telling us there's really not going to be any change. It's just going to stay square to 70. Let's see if she's right. All right, so 70, when I break it down, again, Terminator style, some of y'all might say, I'm going to do 7 times 10. Great, go ahead and do 7 times 10. I'm going to stick with my format of always breaking it down by 2. So I'm going to go 2 times 35. 35 won't break down by 2. And in fact, it won't break down by 3. So I'm going to jump to 5. It breaks down to 5 times 7. And those are all prime numbers, a 2, a 5, and a 7. And my purple marker's running out of juice. A 2, a 5, and a 7. So the square root of 70 is really 2 times 5 times 7. So here's our square root prisoners. None of them trust each other. So none of them are going to try to escape. So they just all stay, and that's, AJ's absolutely right. This number is already in simplest radical form. Good job, AJ. Okay, any questions on that? So if there are no repeating prime factors, it's already in simplest radical form. Okay, let's try another one. Y'all doing all right? Any questions? If you have them, pause. Shoot me an email between 9 a.m. and 12 noon, and I'll respond. All right. Ooh, here comes a big number. The square root of 184. All right, so I'm going to let you all break that one down. We're going to pretend like, I don't know, 23 seconds of Jordan has passed, and you all are now ready to give me answers. So let's see, I'm going to call on a student from first period. Okay, let's get the roster. First period. We're going to call on student number 14, and that would be Jordan Ora. All right, Jordan, what do you think the answer to this one is? 2 radical 46. Okay, we'll write that down. 2 radical 46. Jordan Ora thinks. Okay. Anybody disagree with that answer? No? Okay. Well, let's break it down. So 184. Go all 5th grade on you. Do my factor tree. Hopefully y'all can see this. Looks like I can see it on the video screen, so hopefully you can. Break that down by 2. That would be 2 times 92. Okay. And then 92 would break down into 2 times 46. Uh-oh. Looking good, Jordan. And then 46 would break down into 2 times 23. Jordan! And 23 is a prime number. 2 won't go into it, 3 won't go into it, 5 won't go into it, 7 won't, 11 won't, 13 won't. That's a prime number. So these are the prime factors of 184. So 184 is really the square root of 2 times 2 times 2 times 23. Jordan! So 2 times 2 times 2. And we see if anybody wants to pair up. We got a pair of 2s. Hey, let me go with you guys. No, 3's a crowd. So a pair of 2s, a 2, and yeah. So Warden turns off the lights. They make a jailbreak. Whoop, 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 whoop. One of those 2s escapes. His buddy even dies. And the 2 and the 23, Jordan, stay behind, and they multiply back into a 46. So your final answer is 2 radical 46. And that's exactly what Jordan said. Good job, Jordan. Smiley face for Jordan. And everything's looking good. Y'all doing pretty good. We're almost done. I think we got 2 questions left. What are we in here, about almost 10 minutes deep? Okay. So we'll try another one. Now, sometimes you have somebody who's not in square root prison and with somebody who is. So in this situation, we got a regular 7 times the square root of 20. All right? 20, not 26. That's a 20. So this is a regular 7. He's not in square root prison. He's just chilling. Some people call this the girlfriend waiting in the van for her boyfriend to escape from prison. Whatever works for you. But don't break him down, because he's not in prison. The only people who get broken down is this 20. So Not going to call on anybody on this one because we haven't seen one of these before, so let's just do this one together. So you break down the 20, you don't mess with the 7. The 7 is just a regular 7. He is not in prison, no need to be broken down. But the 20 does. So 20, that breaks down into 2 and 10. 10, of course, breaks down into 2 and 5, and we're done because 5 is a prime number. Let's circle them. So we've got the 7, still right here. The square root of 20 turns into 2 times 2 times 5. Never thought about the volume. I hope y'all can hear me, my goofy voice. If you can't, just crank up the volume, man. All right. So we got a pair of 2s. Again, this is still a regular 7. He's not being broken down. He's just waiting to see if anybody can escape, jump in the van, right off to safety. So, prisoners, these 2 are going to partner up. 5 is going to get left behind. The warden turns off the lights. These guys make a jailbreak. Whoop, 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 whoop. So the 7 is already out there. One of the 2s escapes. His buddy dies. And then this 5 gets left behind. And so the people who escaped join up with the people who are already out. And they multiply. Don't add. Don't do 7 and 2 is 9. Nope. It's multiplication. So 7 times 2 is 14 times the square root of 5. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? Any questions? Good. All right. We'll let you guys try one. And if you do have a question, though, zip me an email. And again, you can pause. So I'm going a little quicker than I would in class. You all can hit pause before I erase this stuff. You guys are going to try this one. Okay. I got some nice big juicy numbers on this one. Oh, woo! You got a 10 outside times the square root of 300. This is Sparta. Okay, so 300. All right, now once again, that's a regular 10. He's not a square root of 10. He's just waiting outside. He's a regular 10. This 300 is a square root. So he's the one that has to be broken down. So you take 300. This is Sparta. And you break that down into 2 times 150. And then 150 breaks down into 2 times 75. 75 will no longer break down by 2, so we move on to 3s. That would be 3 times 25. And then 25 won't break down by 3s anymore. It breaks down by 5 times 5. All right, can everybody see that? All right. So we circle all our prime factors. Got a couple of 2s, a 3, and a couple of 5s. Ooh, this one could be exciting. All right, so we're going to have, still you got the regular 10 waiting outside. And the 300, this is Sparta, breaks down into 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. Ooh, almost going off the edge of the board there. All right, everybody's got that? Now, these guys are all going to see if anybody's willing to partner up and escape. You got a pair of 2s that want to escape. The 3 says, hey, can I? No, nobody trusts that 3. And then you got a pair of 5s that are going to try to escape. All right. So Miss Cook turns off the light. Sorry, Miss Cook. The principal's always the warden. So Miss Cook turns off the lights. Woo. Sound effects. And the 2s and the 3s, they make a break. The 2s and the 5s are going to make a break for it. So whoop, 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 whoop. Here's the 10 waiting out in the van. Whoop, 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 whoop. A 2 escapes. His buddy dies. This 3 stays behind. But whoop, 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 whoop. A 5 escapes. And one of his buddies dies. And who was left behind? That 3 got left behind. So now, oh, I forgot to take answers. Oh, my goodness. Anybody have an answer for this one? Let's see, one more. This is going to be our last one of the day. I'll call on somebody from first period. First period, I'm going to call on student number, what is that? Holy cow. Student number 17 in first period. Student number 17 is Matt Harms. Awesome. Matt, what do you think the answer to this one is? 100 radical 3. Okay. Okay. So he says he thinks it's going to be 100 times the square root of 3, and that was Matt Harms from first period. All right. So let's see if he's right. We've done most of the heavy lifting for him. Let's see. We got 10, who was waiting outside from the beginning, and then a 2 and a 5 escape. So they all multiply. Don't add those together. No, you multiply them. So 10 times 2, that's 20. 20 times 5, that's 100. And then the 3 got left behind. He didn't have anybody to escape with. So Matt is absolutely right. Let's give him a smiley face. Let's just put it right here. Good job, Matt. Any questions? If you got them, zip me an email. Metcalfe with an E on the end at gccschools.com, and I'll be glad to help you anytime between 9 a.m. and 12 today. All right, hope you enjoyed that. We're going to do the second part of the lesson tomorrow, and it's going to be really exciting because we're going to add letters to the square root prison. Man, and I know everybody thinks letters make things harder in math. Actually, the letters you're gonna find out are actually easier to process than the numbers. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe out there, wash your hands, and I'll see you tomorrow.